What are some things that you really like about living here in Prague?
Alrighty, I believe the first one is safety. You can literally walk around the city 5 o'clock in the morning, nobody's gonna bust your balls. The second thing that is amazing here in Prague, obviously, is the partying. You can literally again go all around the city till 7 o'clock in the morning. You can party all night long. Doesn't matter if you listen to rock music, if you listen to jazz music, if you are a techno guy, doesn't matter. You can have fun here.
So, what are some things that you particularly like about living in Prague?
The culture, and you can make friends. Everyone's from a different place. The transport's really cheap. It's easy to get around, easy to meet new people, and if you're interested in something, you can always partake in it, particularly for my interest. I can't say for everyone else's.
What are some things that you really like about living in Prague?
First, Prague is really a beautiful city. It also looks like my own city in France, with a river, hills, and it's pretty calm. Many opportunity, many shops open all around compared to where I was living, where on Sunday, for example, or in the night, there is many things closed already. And here, it's almost always open. So yeah, this is quite of the good part of living in Prague.
Many opportunities. What do you mean by this, for
I mean,
example?
opportunities when you want to go to museum or to any exhibition for social life in general. Yeah.
So, what are some things that you really like about living in Prague?
First of all, I can talk about transport system is kind of convenient, very accessible, kind of 24 hours you can use it. They have metro, tram, the bus, and easily you can reach to all of them. And it is very easy also when you compare with other national capitals, if so to say. They have a very beautiful landscapes and beautiful iconic places, and it attracts a lot of tourists from all around the world all the time. So it can be another positive point in my view.
So I like poetry and literature, and here has like a huge community of people that get together and they read out the poetry, and that's like an active thing, even though it's obviously in a different language. That's really nice to actually meet those people. If you if you want to put an event on and stuff, there's always everyone responds to it positively. It feels like you can do anything you want to.
So, what are some things that you particularly like about living in Prague?
In Prague, especially, I like the diversity. If you have a special hobby, if it's dancing, singing, or going on concerts, you will definitely find a good company here. There are also lots of expats groups. So if you want to find friends going into a specific field, if it's about literature or hiking, I think in general Prague is very open-minded compared to other parts of the state of the Czech Republic, because also of tourism, of course, and also people like to stay here because of work. There are also huge groups from Italy, from Spain, also from other countries in Europe, and they really can do a good career here. They can build up something for their life, and usually they also decide to stay for a longer period. So for me especially, I think the German traditional way is not choosing that country, but I can say that Prague really gave me a lot of opportunities work-wise, but also privately, that I really would miss otherwise in my life.
So, what are some things that you really like about living in Prague?
First off, just the city on its own, it's absolutely beautiful. Some things of what I like the most have to do with the contrast between Prague and Buenos Aires. I like how safe it is. I've been out on the streets at like 2 in the morning and I've been completely safe. I can be with my cell phone on my hand on the street and nothing is going to happen. How safe it is, how beautiful it is, how clean it is. This one's going to be a little bit controversial, but I actually love the weather here, especially the winter, and just how close it is, like the location world wise. It's very strategic. I like how I have everything close by. And pretty much every country, it's like what maximum like a 3-hour flight. and just the city in general. I cannot get enough of it. So yeah.
What are some things that you particularly like about living in Prague?
The first thing I like about Prague is that it's just so beautiful. I love that right behind you is the castle. I come here all the time, especially on the weekends, just because I just love to walk around in it. The culture is incredible. There's always something to see. I also love architecture and design. So I'm always just wandering around the neighborhoods, just looking at just how amazing it is. Part of the reason I love it so much is because I'm a real estate investor, and eventually I'm going to be buying real estate here. And so I'm always looking to see what inspires me the most and what I'll want to purchase in the future.
What are some things that you really like about living in Prague?
This is very calm city, and the public transport is excellent. The way it is made, you are able to access everywhere with no hassle. Everything comes on time. If I compare to my home country, there is not much traffic jam here. So this accessibility part, I really like how organized the city is. My home, it's more chaotic. Second, I like the culture bit. There are pros and cons, so nobody is gonna interfere in your life much. Everybody keeps kind of individuality. This is stark difference from what I have experienced from my home country. So that's probably one of the motivation for me to move here, that I am able to express myself more here rather than my country. This is something motivated me to move here as well.
So what are some things that you really like about living here in Prague?
I like the fact that it's very well connected, like transportation wise. I think that getting from an area to a different area is very easy. For example, an area that is very popular for expats is called Vinohrady, and you can reach it from every other district of Prague. So that's cool, in my opinion. And then I also really like the fact that there are so many expats. Probably 1% out of 10 in Czech Republic is coming from a different place, a different country. So that's what makes Prague and Czech Republic pretty unique. Because if you think of it, in Czech Republic there are only 13 million people, I would say roughly. So it's not a big country. But still, there are so many people from very different places, and I think it's cool because you get to meet very different people with very different perspectives. So I would say it's fun, actually.
So what do you specifically like about living in Prague?
So it's kind of quiet, not so chaotic. Like when I see some other big cities, for example, when I compare with Istanbul, it's just like so much calmer. It's like a village or town compared to there, you know. And like people are relaxed during summer. People are just like outside most of the time, you know, they're enjoying because sunset's also kind of late in June around like 9 p.m. and you can even see like some light at 10 p.m. So people like to go out, you know, have fun, and they don't just like stay in as they do right now. So I think for me, like the seasonal changes are important.
I have a little boy. He is 5 years old. I'm separated with his mother, so we share custody from 1 week to another week every Monday. The whole Czech Republic is only family friendly. There is plenty of restaurants with corner kids. There is plenty of places where kids are accepted. A lot of things are made on the purpose of family. So that's a good point. Compared to France, definitely yes.
And also financially, is it a big strain to have a kid?
There is a win-win because your maternity leave can be 2, 3, or 4 years. You receive a compensation here for that. If I compare to France, where it's 6 months and the compensation that you can receive, it will not even pay the nappies.
Very family-friendly policies.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Is there anything that could be improved for that matter?
Only when I compare to France, I find it incredible. So I can't say now what needs to be improved because for me it was incredible. Definitely, I can see my son, and it was the best for him to be able to stay home with his family instead to go to kindergarten before he was 2 or when he was little baby. No, I'm really grateful for with Czech Republic for that.
Public transports are working perfectly. The connections are very well done. And if you want to talk about the health system, for instance, I think this country is very much digitalized than others. So we have those e-descriptions for at least 2 or 3 years. Contactless payment was a thing, I don't know, 20 years ago here. So much earlier than other countries. So you can basically organize your life pretty well. It's very modern, I would say, compared to other parts of Europe. Of course, Prague in general is also very classic. So we also have this kind of coffee house culture, what we know a little bit from Vienna, but also Prague has other influences. It's a good mixture of everything. A good spot in Central Europe to do a lot of things.
Anything else positive about the city?
Yeah, about the city, absolutely. I think it's not too big and it's definitely not too small. I lived in Bratislava for 2 years and it might have been a little too small. And this place is just perfect. My friends and my colleagues, we all think the same thing. It doesn't have to be bigger. The transportation is amazing because there's a lot of trams coming every couple minutes. I can always catch the metro from my house. Today I took the train. I got into the city in 10 minutes. I can always catch an Uber or I can even rent a car. So I think that's just amazing about the city.
And economy is compared to other countries, it's good. Obviously for an expat it's different, but the economy for the native population here it's actually pretty good. For expats it's a bit difficult because English speaking jobs are less. But if you are able to learn Czech, you will be easily find a lot of opportunities here. So yeah.
So do you enjoy the seasonal changes, or is it?
Like I do, because most of my time, most of my life actually, I've been living in Antalya. So when I consider that it almost never snows, and the most that we got, for example, as like cold was maybe 0 degrees or something. The public transportation in Prague is amazing. I think it's like one of the best in the world. You really don't need a car to go anywhere. It may take time, but you can basically go anywhere, even if there's like no tramway or something, a bus goes.
I personally like to be in the nature, for instance, and everywhere you go from Prague, 1 hour or even less, and you are really in the middle of a national park or of a forest, also for historians, because everywhere you can find castles and beautiful chateaus, beautiful landscapes and viewing points. So this is a kind of national activity. So going into the nature, doing something for your health and for your mindset. Czech people usually have the tendency not staying all the time in the city, but they usually go to their cottages on the weekend. They really enjoy spending time with friends and families. Now in winter, of course, they also like to do skiing and country skiing. I think this is something special what you cannot find everywhere in Europe. So they are very active, I would say.
Thanks a lot for watching until the end of this video. Stay tuned to hear about many other topics about life in Prague, like the negative aspects of living there, financial and work topics, Czech culture, dating, and many more. Let us know in the comments what you like about living in Prague, and I would highly appreciate a like, subscribe, or sharing one of my videos. And I hope to see you in the next video.